The city of Seattle, Washington, was known for its misty mornings, coffee shops tucked into street corners, and the constant hum of rain tapping against windows. To Emily Carter, the city wasn't just a home. It was the place where her life kept surprising her in ways she never imagined. Emily was 24, a graphic designer working for a small startup downtown. Her days were often filled with deadlines, long hours in front of her laptop, and cups of strong black coffee that kept her moving. Though she loved her work, there were moments when she felt something was missing, something beyond her career, beyond the hustle of city life. She lived in a cozy apartment near Capitol Hill, with shelves lined with books, sketches taped on her wall, and a window that looked out toward the glowing skyline. Life was steady, predictable, yet quietly lonely. That was until she met Ryan Mitchell. Ryan was 26, born and raised in Portland, but recently moved to Seattle for a job at a publishing house. He was tall, with a calm presence and the kind of smile that could make even a rainy day feel brighter. Ryan had dreams of becoming a novelist, though most of his days were spent editing the work of others. Their paths crossed in the most unexpected way. One rainy Saturday afternoon, Emily decided to stop by a local bookstore she often visited. The place smelled of old paper and roasted coffee from the small cafe in the back. It was her favorite escape from the noise of the world. She browsed through the shelves, her fingers brushing the spines of novels she'd read before and some she hadn't yet discovered. She turned into an aisle and accidentally bumped into someone carrying a stack of books. The pile nearly slipped from his hands, but Emily quickly helped steady them. "I'm so sorry," she said, her cheeks warming. "It's okay," Ryan replied with a smile. "I should probably not carry half the bookstore at once." They both laughed, and for a moment it felt like time slowed. Emily noticed the titles he carried. Books on history, literature, and even a few novels she loved. "Good taste," she said, nodding to his choices. "Thanks. I'm kind of obsessed with stories," Ryan admitted. "I edit books for work, but I like reading for myself even more." That sparked a conversation that neither expected to last as long as it did. They sat in the little cafe corner of the bookstore, talking about favorite authors, the rainy weather, and how they both found comfort in quiet places like this. Hours slipped by unnoticed. When it was finally time to leave, Ryan hesitated before asking, "Would you maybe want to meet here again next weekend?" Emily, surprised at how natural everything felt, nodded. "I'd like that." And so began something that grew week after week. They kept meeting at the bookstore, sometimes wandering through shelves, sometimes sitting in the cafe, sometimes walking out into the drizzle with coffee cups in hand. Their conversations stretched from books to life dreams, to little childhood stories they had never told anyone else. For Emily, Ryan wasn't just someone she enjoyed talking to. He felt like someone who understood her in ways most people didn't. And Ryan, on his part, found Emily's presence grounding. She was creative, thoughtful, and had a quiet strength he admired. But like most stories, theirs wasn't without its twists. One evening, after weeks of seeing each other, Emily received an email at work that shook her. A company from New York had noticed her design portfolio online and wanted her for an interview. It was a big opportunity, one that could change her career completely. But it also meant moving across the country. She met Ryan at their usual bookstore the next day, her mind heavy with the decision she hadn't spoken aloud yet. "You're quiet today," Ryan noticed, stirring his coffee. Emily sighed. "I got an offer from New York. Big. But it also means leaving Seattle. Leaving everything here." Ryan's expression shifted. He tried to hide his disappointment, but Emily could see it. "That's incredible, Emily. You deserve it. But..." He hesitated. "What does that mean for us?" The word "us" hung in the air between them. They had never labeled what they had, never defined it, but both knew it was more than friendship. "I don't know," Emily admitted softly. For days she wrestled with the choice. Her dreams pulled her one way, while her heart pulled her another. Ryan didn't pressure her, he simply told her, "Whatever you choose, I'll respect it. I just don't want you to regret either path." As the interview date approached, Emily took long walks through Seattle, thinking of the moment she had shared with Ryan. She remembered the first time they met, the rainy afternoons with laughter, the comfort of knowing someone truly saw her. The night before she was supposed to fly to New York, Ryan called. "Meet me," he said. "Just once more before you go." They met at Kerry Park, a spot overlooking the Seattle skyline. The city lights twinkled against the dark sky, the Space Needle glowing like a beacon. "I don't want to hold you back," Ryan said, his voice steady but heavy. "If New York is your future, you should go. But Emily, I also need to say this. I think you're more than just someone I met by chance. You feel like—" He paused, searching for the word. "Like my soulmate." Emily's heart pounded. She had never believed in the idea of soulmates before, but with Ryan it felt real. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "You feel like mine too." The city seemed to blur around them as they stood there, both realizing the depth of what they had. The next morning, Emily made her choice. She went to the airport but stopped just before the gate. She looked at her ticket, then thought of Ryan's words, the look in his eyes, the warmth she felt when he was near. She didn't get on the plane. Instead, she returned to the city that had given her both her career and something even greater. She found Ryan waiting at the bookstore, almost as if he knew she would come back. "You didn't go?" he asked in disbelief. Emily shook her head, smiling through tears. "I realized something. Careers come and go, opportunities will always be there. But finding someone who feels like home, that doesn't happen twice." Ryan pulled her into his arms, relief flooding his face. "Then stay with me." From that moment, their story continued. Not perfect, not without challenges, but with the certainty that they had found something rare. Emily still worked hard, growing her design career right there in Seattle. Ryan continued his path at the publishing house, and in his free time, he finally started writing the novel he had always dreamed of. They supported each other, challenged each other, and built something strong together. Years later, when Ryan's first book was finally published, he dedicated it to Emily with one simple line: "To my soulmate who turned my rainy days into sunshine." And every time Emily read those words, she knew she had made the right choice. Because sometimes, life isn't about chasing every opportunity the world throws at you. Sometimes it's about recognizing the person who feels like you're forever, and choosing them. For Emily and Ryan, that was what soulmates meant.